before we start do our lab tomorrow, I just wanted to go over a few things on the lab so that you knew exactly what you're supposed to do when you come in. Obviously, when you come in, you're going to write your name, date, and period over here. And then there's some pre-lab questions. So tomorrow when you come in, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to answer these questions. Notice it says incomplete sentences. Okay, incomplete sentences prior to starting the lab. So before you do anything with any of your materials, you're going to answer these questions as a group. The other important thing to remember is that each person needs to fill out their own lab sheet and needs to submit their own lab sheet to Schoology. That's really important to remember. So you'll go through these questions. What process will we be using to solve the activities problem, etc. You might need to look below the questions, okay, at this point right here to answer some of them. Okay. So you'll answer those, and then you'll read through this together, all this information. Okay. So the whole point of this M&M Lab is to work through the scientific method. And here it says the scientific method is a way to think about problems and a way to solve them. Scientists do not always follow the steps of the scientific method in order. However, after a problem is solved, a scientist can use the scientific method to explain how the solution was reached. But for the most part, scientists do go through it in order. So as we know, here's it in order: state the problem, gather information, form a hypothesis, do the experiment, record and analyze data, state a conclusion, and then the thing that they don't have listed on here is report results. Always important to share your results with people. Okay, so in this whole activity, you're going to follow the steps of the scientific method to discover how many candies of each color are in one bag of M&Ms. So that's the whole point, to discover how many candies of each color are in one bag of M&Ms. It will show you how scientists record data in charts, make graphs, and draw conclusions. Do not eat any of the candies until you are permitted because it will affect your results. So there's directions below that tell you exactly when you can open them and when you can eat them. You will be able to eat them, not until the end though. It also says do not open the bag until you are instructed to do so, okay, in the directions. In the directions in here, it tells you when to open them. Here's just some objectives that you can read over. The materials, very simple. You just need one fun-sized bag of M&Ms that I will provide when you come into class tomorrow. You'll also need colored pencils to match the M&M colors. I'll have those. And you also need just your iPad, not a pencil, because we'll do this on the iPad. So the first thing you do is you're going to state the problem or what you're trying to find out. Okay, so you'll write in complete sentences right here what the problem is. The next thing you'll do is you'll gather information. Okay, about the candy. So it gives you specific questions to ask yourself that you can find out yourself. You aren't going to have to do a ton of research, just a few questions. The third thing you're going to do is you're going to form a hypothesis. So you're going to write a statement that tells how many candies you think will be in the bag and how many there will be of each color. So remember, the total number of candies must equal the sum, obviously, of the candies of each color. So an example of a hypothesis could be, I think that there's going to be 12 M&Ms in the bag. I think 5 of them will be blue, 3 of them will be red, 2 of them will be yellow, and 2 of them will be orange. I think those are all colors. So you write that in this statement right here. Make sure you say how many candies you think will be in all and how many of each color. The next thing you're going to do is the experiment. It's very simple. You're just going to open the bag, not eating them yet, and you're going to sort the candies by color. Okay. The next thing that's really important is you're going to record and analyze the data. So the first thing you'll do is you'll write the colors of the candy in the first column of the data table. That's right here. You'll write each color. So you'll write blue, red, yellow, whatever colors that you have, you'll write those right here. Then you're going to count how many candies there are per color. So if you count 5 blue, you're going to write 5 right here. That's the frequency, or how many. Okay, you'll do that for each one. And then you're going to add the numbers in the frequency column from the top line to the bottom right here, and you'll write how many total candies you got. Okay. You'll also determine the percentage that each candy color is of the entire bag, and record it in the percentage column over here in this table. So how to find the percentage is you take the number of candies of one color, divide it by the total number, and you multiply it by 100. So say, like I said before, that you have 5 blue M&Ms. You're going to take 5, and say you have 12 total, 5 divided by 12, and then multiply it by 100. You should get a decimal, and then you multiply it by 100. If you need help with this tomorrow, I'll be coming around, and I can help you with that. Okay. The last thing you're going to do for the data is you're going to use it to make this bar graph right here. So the first thing you're going to do with this bar graph is you're going to label the horizontal axis with the colors of the candies. The horizontal axis is the one down at the bottom. So you'll write blue, yellow, red, all your colors right here. Okay? Then you're going to label the vertical axis with the numbers from 1 to 12. So that's right here. So you'll write 1, 2, 3, all the way up to 12. Okay? Then you're going to color the bars of the same colors as the candy. So if you had blue right here and you had 5 blue, you're going to color all the way up to wherever the 5 was with the color blue. The last thing you'll do is you'll give your bar graph an appropriate title right here. All right, the last thing you'll do is you will form a conclusion. So on the lines below, you and your group will write a paragraph that answers the problem you look to solve in the M&M Lab. This is what your paragraph should include: an answer to the question that we addressed in number 1, the total number of candies in your bag and how many there were of each color, and how your results actually compared with your hypothesis. So, were you right? If so, write that down. If you weren't right, write how close you were or how far away you were, and anything else that you want to add. So thanks for watching this. I'm excited to do the lab tomorrow, and bring questions if you have any, and we'll discuss those tomorrow.